Hello ladies and boys and girls, and welcome back to X-Plane 12. We're back in the Zibo Mod 737 sat on the ground at Bournemouth as Ryanair 9 Golf Alpha with service over to Alicante. Flight time of 2 hours and 4 minutes. I really enjoyed my time last week in X-Plane, so I thought we'd jump back in. I know I did promise different aeroplane, but I'm just so in love with the Zibo Mod again, especially flying it with the Boeing yoke. It's brilliant. So this will be the last video in the Zibo, I do promise, and then we'll jump into some tow list and the flight factor stuff as we get back into the swing of things with X-Plane. If you want any flights flying or any aircraft specifically on the channel that you would like to see, please don't hesitate to pop them in the comments below. But what we'll do now is we'll jump into the flight deck of the Zibo Mod and get everything set up for departure. Right, so we're stood in the doorway. As you can see, it's pretty much cold and dark. Just got some ground power on. So we're going to the overhead panel, get the IRSs to the nav position, and we'll turn that there. We'll test the voice recorder. We'll test the Mach airspeed warning indicators. Stall warnings won't work until the IRSs are aligned in the Zibo Mod, so we'll go through our panel scan. Emergency exit lights can come on, and we'll do the fault and fire test down here. And finally the squibs down here. So I think it's pretty much done there. We'll just get the fuel pumps on, trim air, and we're going up to 370 today. Right, so I don't know why the tablet's done this thing. It did it the other day when I was testing it. Like, it's really weird. It's like the tablet falls out the thing but stays there. So we get the Ryanair cabin announcements on, and we'll get GPS left. And we're at Echo Golf Hotel. Our departure today is out of 08 as well, so it's a LEAL and then Ryanair 9 Golf Alpha, and then it's runway 8. Departure today is going to be the southerly departure, and then we're going to have to input the routing on our own. So from there we're going to go to Domok, and then from Domok it's going to be the Upper Tango 260. That's going to take us to Apollo. Then from Apollo it's going to be to the Upper Papa 87, and that will take us to Turpo, and then from Turpo we're going to jump on the Upper Mike 616, and that will take us over to Tupar. Right, from Tupar it's direct to the Charlie November Alpha VOR. Then we're going to go to Seshi. Then from Seshi we're going to go to Alpha Golf November, and then it's to Aneto. From Aneto it's going to be Posse. From there it's going to be XIMP, and then to Rims, and then to Valencia VOR, and then into our arrival, which is going to be the Valencia arrival, which is Valencia 3 Lima on the Valencia 1. And that's all plugged in nicely there. So I'll position the camera a little bit better. See what I mean? It's like it should be on that little iPad holder there, but it just doesn't. It just glitched for me, but it's absolutely no big deal. If you load the plane again it does fix it, but I can't be bothered. So let's just connect my hardware correctly and sync all this up. And the QH is going to be 1027, not 20. That's super high pressure. And we'll get some floodlights on as well. And we'll go through our plan. So it's after departure, right hand turn down. The flight plan takes us through France, basically dissecting the whole of France. So we're going to go over south out of Bournemouth, over Jersey, straight through France, over the Pyrenees Mountains via Andorra, west of Barcelona, quite west of Barcelona actually, and descending over Valencia. The performance is going to be popped in now, so it's 56. This is our zero fuel weight, and we need 8.4 to get to, I was going to say Valencia then, Alicante legally, 2.8 reserves, 370 is our cruise altitude. We're going to uplift to 8.7 tons of fuel, or 8.6. Just give us a bit extra for taxi and contingency. 235 degrees at 23 knots. And your ISO deviation is 6, and we're going to go full takeoff with flaps 15 from Bournemouth runway 08, stab trim of 3 and 1.4, 142 knots for departure. So that is everything plugged in there. Left flight director, right flight director, 5,000 feet is the stop altitude of this SID. It's not on the chart, it doesn't say there's a stop altitude, but at Bournemouth they usually stop you at 5 to 6,000, as you would interfere with Southampton traffic. So we're going to be going by Alpha 1, backtrack 08, and the SID is, well, just conventional RNAV SID. Right hand turn south to Threads, and then away we go. I shouldn't have closed it like that, that was silly. I'm going to need it again. So there is quite strict noise abatement procedure out of Bournemouth. So it's going to be one of those where we thrust reduction at 1,500 feet, it says on the chart, and then we do not accelerate until 3,000 feet. So, and we'll plug that in there. So it's going to be 3,000 feet AGL, 1,500. Our engine out acceleration height's going to be 1,000 feet. Still, that doesn't change. And let's get the APU on. Actually, first I should turn a fuel pump on. Yeah, on the Zibo Mod, you need to wait for the orange light to appear. There you go. And I'll get the rest of the fuel pumps on. And the seatbelts on, you come on as the passengers are now all, the fuel's all on board. And that's pretty much everything until the IRSs are aligned. So I'll jump back in shortly when we're all ready to get on our way to Alicante. Right, so beacon light on, ground equipment clear, and we are ready to push and start. And I must say, the scenery, the default scenery in X-Plane is pretty good. I mean, it doesn't look exactly like Bournemouth,
okay, all doors and hatches are closed,
it does the
ready to
job,
connect.
and the ground textures are absolutely superb. So, lights off, packs off, and release the parking brake when we're ready to rock and roll.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Parking brake released, and
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
we'll go engine number 2 to ground. And we'll watch the N2 rise, waiting for 24 to 25% before we throw the fuel in. Fuel goes in. Yeah, it still doesn't quite. I don't know if I've done anything wrong, but there might be a button for it, but oh well. It doesn't impede the flight, does it? So that tablet can stay there. There's engine number 2 started. And I'll tell you what, we'll start engine number 1 first, sorry, but the lighting in the sim has drastically improved since that last 777 video we did. I mean, this looks so realistic. The sort of lighting is sort of the perfect sort of light. I'll be interested to see what the flight deck looks like during the day. Throw the fuel in. Sorry, I'm yapping a bit there. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it looks like during the light, especially because we'll be flying sort of in towards the sun. So we'll see what it sort of looks like and how the sort of lighting goes. I mean,
Operation complete.
set parking brake first.
Parking brake.
It's vastly improved from the last time, so I'm really happy with it so far.
Stand by.
And actually, I'm really enjoying my time back in X-Plane. It makes me appreciate the sim more that I've had a break. Quite a long break of about a year, really. I also will be doing another video of another review of the 777 V2. Now it's finally come out of beta, and I've got a lot more to say about it, especially with some pricing models and stuff for the engines, so stay tuned for that. And if you guys want to see it, might do a X-Plane versus Microsoft Flight Simulator. Who's better? We'll just do our overhead flows now. It's pretty simple on the 7.3, we're all used to it. And don't forget, we've got to go flaps 15. And a non-normal procedure, but Bournemouth Airport, it's a bit tricky. Runway's not the longest.
And,
yeah. If you want to know how I got the performance, the speeds were pretty much bang on, but the flap 15 came from SimBrief. If you do a flight in SimBrief, you can do takeoff performance calculations now. And with our weights, which I put in before the video, it's at flat 15, and the speeds were only 1 knot off, 1 knot above or below. So flight control check, full left, forward and back, and for the rudders, left and right. All flight controls are free and correct. Get turn offs on, parking brake can come off, and add a little bit of thrust, and we'll taxi. Pretty simple taxi here at Bournemouth. If you're taking off at 28, you go straight onto the runway. If you're taking off of 08, you're going to taxi Alpha all the way to the runway, then backtrack. But yeah, I mean, it's all default what you're seeing today. I think in the next video, I really want to do the Tolis A340. So I'll see where I'm going to fly that. But it looks pretty good for default, if you ask me. I mean, everything you see is free. That's what you're looking at. My graphics are sort of high end on everything, and I have tweaked some of the NVIDIA driver settings, as shown on Q8 Pilot's Stop the Stuttering's video and his other ones. If you want to watch anyone that's helpful with X-Plane, I'll go with Q8 Pilot. Every time I have a problem in X-Plane 11 and 12, I type it in on the internet, and the first video that comes up is Q8 Pilot, and 99% of the time his videos fixes my problems. So if you're having the problem that I had the other day with the stuttering and popping of the noise, went onto the NVIDIA settings, changed 2 things, and now my sim runs perfectly smooth. So he's a great guy. But yeah, X-Plane's, I'm enjoying it so far. Really am. So I'll do the Turley's A340 next, then I'll do the 777. I'm not buying the extended engines, so you won't see them. So I'm not paying £15 for something I've already paid nearly £100 for, and also beta tested for a year for them. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they're charging people to have the engines that they wanted with the plane anyway. I mean, look at PMDG. You bought the 777-200, you got the 777-200 with all 3 engine models, and in a couple of weeks we'll get the new sound set as well, completely free, included. I mean, I know they need the money because it's X-Plane, but bloody hell. It does seem like Flight Factor are ripping us off a little bit there. Oh, and we might do some Dash 8 ops as well. The old Q4.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Cabin secured, thank you. I wish the Zibo had something. Not the Zibo, we're in the Zibo. I wish the PMDG had something like this where you get sort of the cabin sounds and stuff. Especially like with the talking. I mean, it'd be so good. I mean, I'd probably get loads of copyright if I flew with Jet Turks or Jet Glyn and other airlines. But it does add to the immersion. On the auto throttle, get the flight path vector on as well. I just like having it on. Right, we'll backtrack. So the takeoff checklist has been complete. I've got a little printed out checklist that I read. I don't say it out loud, but it's from the airline that I fly for as cabin crew. I was able to get one. And it's how they operate the 737s, which is what I use for my videos. So it's not too long to backtrack. The displaced threshold here at Bournemouth is not the biggest, but it does change your flying style depending on what runway you're landing on. If you're landing on 26, you can do flat 30 or to break 3, no problem, and you'll get off at Alpha. Coming in on 08, you need to use flat 40 max auto most, if not all the time. It's a bit like Bristol if you're coming on 08. But 26 itself, the whole runway is not the longest. 7,500 foot. And this is what I like about X-Plane as well. The ground physics and the taxiing is so nice and easy in the 7.3. We'll do a rolling takeoff as well. Oh, I don't know what that flashing is. So we'll go chrono, spool them up, forward pressure, toga, so takeoff thrust. Maintaining centerline, bit of right rudder.
80 knots.
Release that forward pressure. Got a tailwind. Why is it told me to take off 08?
V1,
rotate. Pull through that dead band. Airborne.
Positive rate.
Gear up. And onto the flight directors. I said, why is it told me to take off of 08? But it's my fault because I read the wind. Anyway, we're airborne, and it feels so nice to hand fly. There's 1,000 feet. Shortly N1 will engage. There it is. So thrust is reducing, sorry. And we'll maintain V2 plus 15. Command A can go in now. And we'll wait until 3,000 feet. The aeroplane flies itself now, and then we'll accelerate and start. popping flaps in. And that looks pretty good out there. So bug up to 171 with level change, we'll go flat 5. And we'll keep going up in increments. I'll bug up to 210 knots. There's that right hand turn. Direct threads, flaps 1. Airplane's accelerating nicely now. There's the 1,000-foot horn. And see, look at those effects over the wings as well. All included with X-plane. No added extra. 220 knots now, flaps up. And we'll match heading. We've got speed and out hold. And there's the seafront. And there's Bournemouth. So we'll pop it into VNav, let the aeroplane start speeding up. And no ATC. So we'll go out into V and we'll go straight up to 370. And there we are. Crew can be released, they can start their in-flight service. Logo light come off now. And away we go. It's really enjoyable actually. Like I said, the rotation, the hand flying, the most fun parts of flying a plane are so good in X-Plane. I really do wish that Microsoft Flight Simulator do fix the physics a bit, because especially in 2020, I know that they're not going to update it in there, it'll be in 2024, but flying the PMDG, it's really nice to fly, like, because it looks good and it does everything, but hand flying is, well, it just doesn't feel like I'm flying anything. It's just pitch power doesn't work properly and the plane's been blown all over the place by the winds, and even when it's not windy and it'll start dipping and diving for no reason, and it's not fun to hand fly, but the Zibo Mod is. And anyway, that's us airborne, so got nothing else to do apart from set up the descent, so I'll see you in about 2 hours when we're in Alicante. Hello and welcome back into the flight deck. Sorry for leaving it a little bit late. We are a bit high on the approach. What had happened is the approach that we had a published hold. It's 1015 QNH, sorry. A published hold, and I forgot to take the hold out, because in real life they probably wouldn't hold you most of the time, they'd just send you straight in. But the published hold was still on there, and I let VNav descend us, and as soon as I've taken the published hold out, we're about 4,000 feet above the path, so it's level change and speed brake for us down for probably the remainder of the flight until we get gear down. So it's my fault though, but doing some mental maths we should be okay with our rate of descent to carry on. So it's been not an eventful flight, sorry, I was going to say an eventful flight, but no it hasn't. X-plane's been pretty good. A bit turbulent over the Pyrenees, but apart from that, it's been pretty nice. The views aren't the best in X-plane, as you know. I mean, that's the number one complaint with everyone about X-plane, is it doesn't look very good out the window, but I can't complain because I spend 90% of the time in here. I mean, it is really nice in sort of Microsoft Flight Simulator when you do one of those absolutely gorgeous approaches and it's unbelievable. But I'm in X-plane for the time being because I like the physics. So, and hopefully I can show that off with the landing. And now I've said that, I'll probably absolutely dump it right onto the footers at like -400. We do have a landing rate, so hopefully it says we've got a butter. But yeah, coming down on the path now, we're closing in on it slowly. Might have to start configuring in a minute, configuring early. Right, flap 1. We're at 220 with speed brake, and the drag should hopefully force us down a little bit. And we'll get the heading selected there to 100. Got minimum set in. Everything's looking okay so far, just a little bit high. Hopefully we don't have a go around. Right, so flat 5, Vorlock, 200 knots, speed brake still out, vertical speed of 1800 feet. Hopefully that should do the trick nicely. So luckily this approach brings you quite far out, so we've got quite a few track miles left, so it should sort itself out. We'll go flaps 10, and we'll really try and slow it down now. And see that, I think the new lighting model as well, when you're in the cabin, that wing view looks so realistic. And that looks pretty good as well. Can't see the runway, you've got this sort of like haze and the sun coming through. Looks like a big nuclear bomb's gone off. The lighting's changed, and that looks really good, that does. In that sort of lighting, that looks brilliant. Right, so the approach is coming up now. Well, the glide slope, sorry, not the
2500.
approach. There's 2500.
Thousand to go.
Arm approach. Approach activated glide slope. Lovely, and the speed, sorry, it should start bleeding off now. Flap 10 speed brake, quite draggy on the 7.3. Right, so the go around is, I set 3,000, but I think it's 4,000. There you go. So we set 4,000 feet. Speed brake can come in, arm it, gear down, flap 15, gear down to the flap 15 speed, and we've got ourselves stable. It's going to be 147 knots for our approach. Still can't see the runway, looks like a bomb's gone off. Flaps 30. Start switch is continuous, and we'll ding the crew, and that is the landing checklist complete. Nice and stable, just for 1,000 foot. That looks nice out there, doesn't it? See, it doesn't look too bad when you're close to the ground with the like the sort of buildings and trees and stuff loaded in. It looks quite nice actually.
1,000.
See, that looks quite good in front of us with everything loaded in, and we are 2 red, 2 white. Let me match my throttles up first for a disconnect. There you go, and we'll throw the autopilot out. My aeroplane. I don't know if you can make it out, but I can just about see the runway. Very, very, very faintly. And this is what I mean about the difference between X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm putting hardly any inputs in. The plane is completely stable. Thrust's not moving that much. I'm making tiny little inputs and the aeroplane's responding nicely. In Microsoft Flight Simulator, would have disconnected and the nose would have dropped or pulled up, and then you're recovering, and then all of a sudden there's these random gusts for no reason. There's minimums, we continue. Yeah, it's so nice to have the fly.
200.
2 reds, 2 whites, bang on. A little bit of a crosswind.
100.
Don't start chasing the
50,
glide.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Hold it there. Down we are. Speed brakes reverses are now green. Maintaining centre line with rudder. And welcome down to Alicante. And even the touchdown physics are better. It feels like you can feel the suspension. It's really good. Stow the reversers, auto brake can come off. We've missed the first exit. Too fast or a roll down. But that was pretty successful if you ask me. And there's the Ryanair horn. I haven't flown with Ryanair for a while, so I don't know if that's still there. I haven't flown with Ryanair for as a passenger, well, 5 years. the APU on now. Cleaned up the airplane nicely. And we'll taxi on here.
And we wish you a safe.
Brilliant flight that was. It was absolutely brilliant. I mean, I know there's that meme or joke that X-Plane, the only thing it's got for it is the flight dynamics, but that does make or break the sim. And in my opinion, this does it the best. It's so enjoyable to fly. Like you keep saying, the most enjoyable part of the flight is the takeoff and the landing. And in Microsoft Flight Simulator, it just doesn't feel good. There's something wrong. That, well, actually, I can explain it, but I'll do that in the actual video about comparing the two. But in this sim, that landing felt absolutely. I felt like I was wired to the aeroplane. Every movement was exactly what I wanted. It's really good. It's giving it great approach. That was pretty bang on. And what did it give me for the landing? And only a 3-star landing. I thought that was probably one of my best in the sim. That was pretty textbook 737 landing. And actually, it should have given me 5 stars. Ryanair usually plant it. This is the default, not touched X-Plane 12 scenery for Alicante. I do have the Pilot Plus scenery, and I do have it on the computer ready to install, but I just want, like I said, for these first 2 videos to show you what the default X-Plane looks like. And then, as we build through the weeks of going through the update with different aeroplanes, we'll slowly add more bits to it and see what it looks like by the end of it, to see if you can make X-Plane look, well, it's never going to look as good as Microsoft Flight Simulator, but to an extent look very good. I did try and download Auto-Ortho, but I just had trouble trying to download it, so we're going to leave that for a while. It's the only problem with X-Plane as well. To get everything to work is an absolute nightmare. Taxi light off, and we'll take 27. Why not? Just pull in here. Add a little bit of thrust. And we'll set the parking brake, engine 1 and 2 dead, and welcome down to Alicante. So guys, welcome down to Alicante. I hope you enjoyed that X-Plane video as much as I did. It's really nice to get back into X-Plane and start enjoying the stuff I've missed actually. It's been a while since I've jumped into sort of the X-Plane world, and I've missed a lot, and since the updates actually the sim is pretty good now. It's very stable, it's very smooth. I don't get the stupid stuttering. The physics are pretty good. The actually externals are pretty good as well. The ground textures could use a bit of work from altitude, but I'm not complaining. I've enjoyed myself, and I hope you have started to enjoy the X-Plane content as well. You'll be seeing a lot more X-Plane content on the channel. I want to get through sort of a catalogue of aircraft that I haven't flown in a while on the channel. And the only reason I'm doing this is because Microsoft Flight Simulator, the sort of aircraft cycle for that has died to death a little bit. And it's taken a while for newer aircraft to come out, so I thought we'd jump back into X-Plane for a couple of weeks and test out the new update. If you have enjoyed, please don't hesitate to like and comment. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. It does help the channel massively. I'll see you very soon in the next video, which will be in the Tolis A340. But I'll leave you now. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again very soon in the next video.